This is an overview of services offered by Crystal Clear College Planning. We start our process with a student by having them do a career search so we can really start having those good conversations around what are they interested in, what are their strengths, what does that mean in terms of different majors, start to see what they like and don't in order to be able to best guide them in some areas that they can start exploring. Then from there, we get to go through and create an initial list of schools for a student to look at. And this is where we're looking at making sure they fit those three pillars where a school is a good academic, social, and financial fit, and working together and making sure that they are meeting those criteria and that we are pivoting as we are learning things as we work through this process. Our goal is that we want students to be strong academically, so in the top 25% of the incoming freshman class, and ultimately have 6 to 10 schools on their list that they want to apply to by the time that they are done. We also work with students on the primary essay for applications. We have an essay specialist specifically that starting summer leading into senior year will work with a student around topic generation and then revisions and edits for the primary essay. Application bootcamp is what we do in supporting students with the rest of the application process. So over the summer and leading towards early action deadlines, we host sessions where we walk through Common App and other applications that students may have, making sure they're putting their best foot forward in their activities section and that they understand how best to represent themselves. Then after we have applied to our universities, that is where we typically will start looking at outside scholarships. And Imagine Scholarships is the search engine tool that our families get access to. You can use and abuse it for 1 year and be able to save some scholarships and be able to go through and apply to as many as you would like in order to help continue to bring down that cost. Social media and LinkedIn, we have a great partnership with social media strategies where they will help a student get their LinkedIn profile set up. This is really twofold. One is for the sake of enrollment management in this process and being able to see how it can connect with universities as we're working through this admissions piece. But then two, of course, is they're creating their professional profile, getting taught how to use it and how that can then play for them in the future as they are going through looking for internships and jobs. SAT and ACT diagnostic, what we do is starting off our kids and figuring out which one they have an aptitude for. So we do a full-length practice SAT and a full-length practice ACT. And then we see the side-by-side comparison of those results, determine which one a student has an aptitude at, and then get them set on what they should be doing in terms of studying and when they should take their exam. ePrep is who we use for the diagnostic as well as for our study program. So what we wind up doing then is to say, okay, from the diagnostic, our student is ACT strong, and we're going to get registered for January for our first exam. Then we're going to go plug in January's exam date, and it's going to help us build a study schedule so that we stay on track. And then it's going to be practice tests and video tutorials in order to learn the content, as well as quizzes and wordsmith in order to touch all of the bases for what they need to learn for the exam. We do also help families get the financial aid forms submitted. So the first is the FAFSA, which is the federal application for student aid. The important thing here is just making sure we're not overly reporting things and that everything is consistent as well from the CSS profile to any institutional forms, which we will also help a family get submitted for schools that they are applying to. Then the other piece that's really important is starting to look at then how much money did we get at the end of this? So we're really aiming to make sure, like we said, that schools are a good academic, social, and financial fit, and that we're picking schools at the forefront that are within that budget that we have. But then we also want to look at, do we have extenuating circumstances? Did we have other opportunities in regards to competitive offers from schools to use for this appeals process? So when we get our award offers back from our colleges in the spring of senior year, we're going to take a look at those and see where we're at and if we have any additional opportunity we can take advantage of. We do also coach on how the student loans work, so Stafford plus private. So if we want to have some skin in the game there, that conversation will also happen in spring of senior year. And then our college transition program is actually a continuation of service. So if we think about it, we're doing all of this work and then launching our kiddos off into freshman year of college. And sometimes things can get a little overwhelming, and it's the first time they've really had to adult that hard. And so it really gives a lot of peace of mind as well for parents as their kiddos are getting off, and being able to know that we are continuing to work with them every month, touching base to make sure that they have somebody that they know and trust to talk to as they're looking at getting their first job, at picking their classes, at figuring out how best to utilize the services that they need to on campus through that first year on campus is very important. Now, we do have a complete client service, and that really just means that, as you can see, we're touching all of the pieces of this process. And within that too, we have various team members that are going to be working with a family based on what services they choose. And we have what we call concierge calls, which is as a student becomes a rising junior, then every month we have topics based off of that student's graduation year for both parents and students to attend about all of the core aspects that are going to be happening in the college planning process. When families don't attend those, they really aren't utilizing the most of the service that is available to them. So we love when families can attend, but if we miss it, it is recorded and they can go back and catch it. As well, we have College Planner Pro, which is our family portal. So everybody gets access to that. That's where all of our to-dos are. So that's the college tracking list down here. So think of that essentially as your agenda and timeline of life from now until you graduate from high school. But we always like to have goals in this process. And we always say, one, we like to make sure that we're maximizing getting money. Two, we like our kiddo to get in and out of college in a timely fashion called 4 years. And it is just because it's joke, no joke. We know you love your kiddos, but nobody really likes to look like this by the time we are done. So this goes through the various service levels that we have, and you're going to see that you can bundle things together in order to achieve some savings, or you can pick a la carte based on what works for you and your family. So all of these items here are going to be clickable links for our bundled packages, and then the other a la carte options you're going to see via asterisk over here. Our Concierge Plus is the all-inclusive program that's going from all the way through the end of your student's freshman year in college. The concierge program is going to be minus that transition program, but you're going to see that the most savings is off of the Concierge Plus package, but when you will also bundle and save on the Concierge package as well. And you're going to see that on the second page, it just has a continuation in regards to those levels of services that we are going to be offering. For the Concierge Plus, we are filing financial aid forms and analyzing award offers for all 4 years that a student is in college. So that is an added benefit for that overall package as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And like I said, all of these items are clickable links. And in the email that you get, you will also have the combined link if you would like to use that instead for combined services. And I look forward to working with you.